Are you sure? I didn't hear the sound. Does it say record?
You just started at 3.
It says rec?
You didn't say 2 or 1.
Okay. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan and this is Vanboy Auto Styling. Today I've got my friend Josh here. We're going to show you guys how to apply a sun visor windshield banner to your car. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is start with a clean windshield. This one's already pretty clean, but I'm going to go ahead and take my solution here of Dawn soap and water, and I'm just going to put some of this on this rag and spray the windshield itself. Make sure it's nice and smooth so there's not going to be anything under the banner here. And Josh, I might pass this to you and let you hit that side. And we're just doing the top. This one's actually kind of a sun strip banner, so it's going to go at the top. So with this sun strip style banner, you actually have to do a wet application. So that's why we're going to be using this this Dawn soap with a little bit of water to lubricate everything up and make sure it doesn't stick.
It's dry now. You want to keep wiping? Okay.
To make sure everything's lubricated and that it doesn't stick. All right, so I've got the banner here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and stretch this out. And we're gonna just think about lining it up a little bit. The great thing about being a wet application is you can move it around as it's on there, but we wanna get as close as possible. So Josh, we're gonna go ahead and flip this over. Just like that. And I'm gonna start peeling this, this backing paper from my side. And then once I get about halfway, I'll pass it to you. It's okay if you end up touching the back side of the banner itself, but try to do that as little as possible, just so there's less of a chance of any kind of debris sticking onto the banner itself. So go ahead and just start pulling nice and slow. I just want to make sure that everything that's supposed to be on the banner stays on the banner. Looks good so far. Good, good. Okay, and then you go ahead and pull pretty good speed to your side. All right, so what's going to happen next is I'm going to lube up the windshield. How lean is it on the windshield? So I'm going to go ahead and wet the windshield, make sure that's nice and wet. And I'm actually going to wet the banner itself as well. Make sure that's nice and wet so that this will slide nice and easily along the windshield when we go to place it. All right, now Josh and I are going to pick up the corners. And you're going to go up just like this. And then we're going to kind of eyeball it to make sure that that's center. So there should be a little thing there in the center. You see that? We're going to kind of go stay above that a little bit. Nice in there. I think you can go a little bit your way. So I'm going to hold mine, just kind of try to keep it in place and slide your way if you can. A little bit more. Go ahead and pick up if you have to. Okay. It's looking pretty good. And step back. Don't be afraid to step back and look. It's okay, it won't dry that fast. So I'm gonna see where the top of my windshield is because I don't want this to come down too far or else it kind of gets in your way of what you're seeing. I'm actually gonna go ahead and maybe step into the car, see what it looks like from inside. Just make sure again that I'm not obstructing my view too bad. Also looks pretty good. Check the visor. Visor's not really gonna do anything anymore. May go up just a tad more, just so that I don't regret this later on. I want it to stay on, so let's move it up just a tad. Good. Right about there, looks pretty good to me. And again, all of the decal itself is below the top of the windshield line. Looks pretty nice and centered. I think that's pretty good. All right, so now what we're gonna start doing is I'm gonna take a squeegee. If you don't have a squeegee, you can use a credit card, but I highly recommend getting one of these padded, felt padded squeegees. It's just gonna slide on there gently and not damage anything. So from the center, I'm just gonna start pushing out some of this excess water to make sure everything stays, go up and down. Basically anywhere there's gonna be liquid, you wanna get that out. Push it out to the sides and down to the bottom. And then when we get to the edges, we'll fix that a little bit more too, just to get it nice and flush with where the windshield ends. But for right now, getting everything as close to the ends as possible. And just working out that excess liquid is all I'm worried about right now. Especially where the decal itself is. You don't want that to have any water kind of trapped in there. All right, Josh, I'm gonna pass this to you and I'll let you do the same thing, kind of towards your side. Just trying to work out that water. You don't have to put too much pressure, but just enough to where you see the liquid coming out from underneath. Yep, and at that corner, you kind of pick up the little bit of excess and just kind of shove that squeegee down in there and try to get a nice line. It's not going to be great yet because of the soap, but as close as you can get. And just keep working it out, just like that. Yep. Looks pretty good. All right, so what I'm going to do now is trim away the excess, because obviously this is bigger than the windshield itself. So in order to get that nice flush lay, I'm going to go in here and try to find, on this particular car, there's kind of a gasket that runs right here, so I'm going to use that as a guideline, and I'm just going to cut up that. So I'll start right here, insert. I don't want to actually cut the gasket itself, so I'm just going to lightly press the blade against it and use that as a guide. Come all the way up and make sure to put enough pressure to actually cut through the banner and the backing paper. Just like that, that looks good. And now the easy one is going across the top of the glass. So again, kind of just insert this in here. You want to find the ridge of the glass and just use that kind of as a guide. That one's pretty easy. Just go in there nice and gently and walk across the top of there. Okay, and I'll go finish that on the other side. All right, again, same thing on the other side. Just find that little gasket line or the edge of whatever windshield you're applying to. Line up that. Finish it out. And then I'm going to take that top line, continue on right here. Just like that. Pull out that excess. My roof is actually vinyl wrapped, so I'm going to take a little bit of extra care removing the excess so that it doesn't stick too hard. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just go back and squeegee again now that I have an actual edge on the ends to make sure that that is nice and flat. I may take my knife, and a lot of windshields have a rounded edge there, so I'll probably go and just make sure that that's nice and flush on there. Go back over this. Ideally, you want to leave this on to cure and let all the water get out for about an hour or so, but yeah. Thank you, Josh. If you have time, or if you don't have time, you can just make sure to squeegee it really nice and evenly, and it should come off just fine. And then again, just pay special attention to that newly cut edge that you made. Make sure to squeeze any water that was left in there right out at the bottom there, just like that. Okay. Again, you probably just want to let that sit for a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for about roughly like 10 to 15 minutes on my car, and I'll join you guys again. We'll peel off the transfer paper. All right, so it's been about 10 to 15 minutes. So a little trick that I've learned for this specific type of transfer paper is if you just wet the front of it a little bit, it actually somehow helps it separate. So I'm just going to wet that. Josh can help me rub that in. So just the top layer. I'm going to give it a little bit of spray, and then very carefully I'm just going to try to find a corner that I can start peeling from, and we're going to try to leave, not you, just me. And I'm going to try to make sure to leave the banner and just take the transfer paper off here. So okay, they're a little bit worked up here. Again, work slow. If it looks like the banner is going to come up too, you maybe just need to wait a little bit longer for it to dry. Starting to pull from a corner. nice and slowly. Okay, looks good so far. So again, just walking this nice and slowly across, pulling evenly, just trying to keep it nice and flat. I'm going to slow down a little bit when I start to get to the actual graphic part, because again, that's what we definitely want to stay in place, and where it's actually going to have a little bit of moisture left in it. So nice and slow across there. Awesome. And then Josh, if you do the honors, nice and slowly, just pull it across the rest of the way. Nice even pressure as you can. Looking good. And then just at the very edge, you just want to be a little careful that you don't kind of pull one corner first. You want to kind of get them all at the same time, because the corner is going to be the part that would pull up if anything's going to pull up. But everything looks nice and connected. Awesome. Excellent. All right, so as you guys can see here, this is the finished product. Nice and smooth, nice and lined up. Don't mind my horrible wrap job here. I've got to put a couple pieces of patch on there, but the banner is nice and tight, evenly across, no bubbles. Looks really good. And again, this is going to provide some sun protection for your eyes and a little bit for your seats. I personally always put up sunshades in my car, so that with the sunshades is going to be perfect. Nothing coming in the car. All right, so as you guys can see, that is the banner applied. Came out really nice. Definitely takes two people, I would say, so have a buddy to help you out. Thanks again, Josh, for helping me out with this, getting that on nice and smooth. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more content. If you do want to support the channel, I do sell these banners as well as many other car banners and decals on Etsy. That's Vanboy decals. I'll link that in the description below. And give me a follow on Instagram at Vanboy Auto Styling. And thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.